Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Armed Forces of the Philippines joins U.S.-Canada forces in the 7th MMCA. Philippines and South Korea reaffirm strong defense partnership. 74 OFWs return from Lebanon. Philippine Embassy cautioned Filipinos in Lebanon amid surge in criminal activities.
Good day everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Today is Thursday, February 13, and this is AFP Community News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. In behalf of Ralph Suzon, this is Joyce Imbahon here to bring you today's stories. DWDD Armed Forces News. And the Armed Forces of the Philippines once again joined forces with the Defense Forces of Canada and United States in the 7th Multilateral Maritime Cooperative Activity held within the Philippines Exclusive Economic Zone yesterday. The 7th MMCA featured a series of operational exercises, including communication check exercises, division tactics, photo exercise, and expandable mobile anti-submarine training target exercise. The AFP deployed the BRP Andres Bonifacio PS-17 Beechcraft King Air C-90 aircraft and the Philippine Air Force search and rescue assets. Meanwhile, the said MMCA is a testament of the AFP's ongoing commitment to strengthen cooperation in ensuring peace and stability. And the Philippines and South Korea vowed to maintain their strong defense partnership in the recently concluded 26th Philippines Republic of Korea Joint Committee meeting on logistics and defense industry cooperation held in Busan. Highlights of the two nations meeting were the defense modernization, technology transfer, and joint initiatives aimed at enhancing regional security. In his statement, Assistant Secretary Joselito Ramos, DND's Assistant Secretary for Logistics and Acquisition, underscored the Philippines' dedication in strengthening strategic ties with South Korea. Meanwhile, the 26th JCM reaffirmed the long-standing and dynamic defense cooperation between the two nations. Let us hear more updates from Mel about the Marine Battalion Landing Team 10 supports outreach program for IP families in Cagayan. Mel?
Yes, good afternoon. Marine Battalion Landing Team 10 provided support and security assistance during the conduct of the Tulong sa Kapitbahay outreach program for indigenous people families at Sitio Padungsol, Barangay Basaw, Lalo, Cagayan. MBLT 10 coordinated an outreach program for the local IP community, offering a variety of essential services aimed at addressing their immediate needs. This included the distribution of assorted clothes, toys, and leaflets. Free haircuts and parlor games were provided for entertainment, while medical check-ups were conducted to address health concerns. A food feeding program was also organized to meet the community nutritional needs, along with other essential services to further support the local IP community. Team Kapayapaan remains dedicated to supporting government efforts in providing humanitarian assistance and essential services to the people of Cagayan. This is Meljo Nesho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy. And the 202nd Community Defense Center of the Reserve Command Philippine Army and Isabela State University teamed up for reservist geo-tracking system. The said initiative was formalized through the signing of Memorandum of Agreement between the 202nd CDC and the ISU, held at the ISU San Mateo campus. The Tactical Assignment and Reservist Geo-Tracking System, or Project Target, is an initiative designed to bolster the tracking, profiling, and monitoring of Army reservists in Isabela. Meanwhile, the system will serve as an online management information system that provides real-time data on reservists in both standby and ready reserve status.
Forces News.
And a suspected rebel arsonist was neutralized in an encounter at Crossing Lansang in Barangay Talaon, La Libertad, Negros Oriental. Troops from the 62nd Infantry Battalion were conducting pursuit operations of the NPA remnants responsible for burning of equipment in Sitio Manghuya, Barangay Aya, La Libertad when they caught up with 4 of the suspects that resulted to a gunfight. Rolito Tanilio with aliases of Roy and Gamatoy, who was one of the suspected New People's Army rebels, believed to be among those behind the recent destruction of heavy equipment being used in the construction of a farm to market road. Meanwhile, Tanilio was a member of the Sangay Unit Pampropaganda Squad under the dismantled Central Negros 1 of the Komiteng Regional Negros, Cebu, and Siquijor.
DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Joan about 5th Infantry Division Philippine Army prepares to shift focus to territorial defense. Joan?
The commander of the 5th Infantry Star Division Philippine Army is now preparing to shift focus on territorial defense operations in northern Luzon alongside Ready Reserve Infantry battalions. According to Major General Gulliver Signeres, once the remaining active members of the New People's Army are neutralized and the insurgency problem is resolved, the military will concentrate on defending the country's territory. As part of their preparations, the role of every soldier will be expanded and reservists will be trained to assist the military along with other government agencies such as the Philippine National Police, local government units, and other stakeholders. The 5th Infantry Star Division will also enhance its military affairs programs, including seminars and training for reservists under the 202nd Community Defense Center to align with the military's efforts. General Signeres emphasized that every individual has a role to play in ensuring the security of the community and the country's future. The transition from internal security operation to external defense operations began in January 2025 with plans to eliminate remaining leftist groups by the end of the first quarter. The general encouraged NPA members to surrender and return to the government fold. He expressed optimism that the division's programs will improve their performance in the coming years. This is John Sagaok reporting for AFP Community News 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joan.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And report from a police official confirmed that the body of the suspected New People's Army rebel who was killed in an encounter with the government forces in Barangay Talaon, La Libertad, Negros Oriental was claimed by the family. According to Lieutenant Stephen Polinar, spokesperson of the Negros Oriental Police Provincial Office, the scenes of the crime operatives, or SOCO, retrieved the body on Tuesday afternoon and brought it to the town proper for autopsy. Evening of the same day, relatives and the village chief of Barangay Talaon claimed the body, brought it back to the mountains and buried it around midnight. Meanwhile, the suspected NPA rebel was identified as Rolito Apatan Tanilion, tagged by the military as a former member of the dismantled Central Negros 1 front of the Komiteng Region Negros, Cebu, Bohol, and Siquijor.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for our national news,
DWDD National News.
74 overseas Filipino workers were repatriated from Lebanon. According to the Department of Migrant Workers, the OFWs arrived at Terminal 3 of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport yesterday. They were provided food, accommodations, and transportation as needed. The DMW said the latest repatriation effort brought the total number of returned OFWs from Lebanon to 1,564.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from GEO about 9th Field Artillery Battalion participates in the initial site survey for CATEX Katihan 02-2025. GEO?
Yes, Jai, the 9th Field Artillery Firestorm Battalion participated in the initial site survey for the Combined Arms Training Exercise Katihan 02-2025 at Barangay Canantong, Laor, Nueva Ecija. 9th Field Artillery Firestorm Battalion joined the selection process of a training ground that will focus on finding a site that could effectively replicate battlefield conditions, enabling troops to test and refine their operational strategies. CATEX Katihan 02-2025 aims to train and develop military units in combined arms operations, integrating various forces to enhance battlefield effectiveness. Meanwhile, the CATEX Katihan 02-2025 is a key event in celebration of the Philippine Army anniversary designed to simulate wartime operations through realistic battle scenarios. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio.
WDD National News.
For more updates, the Philippine Embassy in Lebanon urged Filipinos to take precautions amid a surge of criminal activities there. The embassy said that these developments have raised concerns regarding public safety, and the Lebanese government has taken measures to address the problem. But they assure the local officials have intensified patrols, increased security personnel to mitigate the risks, and heightened surveillance in various areas to ensure public safety.
WDD National News.
And the Philippine Consulate General in Hong Kong warned Filipinos against money laundering syndicates that target foreign domestic workers. There were over 196,000 Filipino workers in Hong Kong. In an advisory on Facebook, the consulate cautioned Filipino workers as well as Filipino tourists in Hong Kong against sharing copies of their identification or travel documents with strangers. They explained that many foreign domestic workers were victimized by money laundering syndicates who offered payment of at least 500 Hong Kong dollars in exchange for their identification and for a photograph of their face. Then the syndicates would use the Hong Kong ID and photograph taken from the target FWD to open a bank account.
WDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear from Spencer about 30th Infantry Battalion neutralizes top CPP-NPA leader in Butuan encounter. Spencer?
Troops from the 30th Infantry Battalion neutralized the top Communist Party of the Philippines leader in an encounter in the mountainous area of Sitio Imelda, Barangay Pianing, Butuan City, Agusan del Norte. Mirna Solarte alias Maria Malaya was the top leader and secretary of Communist Terrorist Group, Northern Eastern Mindanao Regional Committee, and a member of Political Bureau of the Communist Party of the Philippines. The said incident followed a series of encounters that began earlier in the morning and in the afternoon. The citizens fired upon the troops, leading to exchange of gunfire that resulted to Malaya's demise. Meanwhile, Malaya was a widow of the late George K. Oris Madlos, a prominent figure in the New People's Army National Operations Command, who was killed in October 2021 in an encounter against the government forces in Bukidnon. This is Spencer reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer.
WDD National News.
And the Second Congressional Commission on Education, or EDCOM-2, welcomed the government's move to ensure every school in the country would have a principal. Education Secretary Sonny Angara said the Department of Education would deploy over 15,000 qualified teachers as principals as it updates the process of principal hiring in public schools. Angara noted that the pressing issue is an eye-opener and the agency is taking swift action to address this problem. EDCOM-2 recently reported that 25,000 public schools in the Philippines have no principals.
WDD National News.
And more than 1.7 million individuals have benefited from the 10 billion peso Integrated Livelihood and Emergency Employment Program of the Department of Labor and Employment in the fourth quarter of 2024. These are the DOLE Integrated Livelihood Program and Tulong Panghanap Buhay sa Ating Disadvantaged or Displaced Workers or TUPAD Program. Labor Secretary Bienvenido Laguisma said more than 300,000 TUPAD workers and more than 7,700 DILP beneficiaries came forth from 4th to 6th income class municipalities. The beneficiaries were mostly self-employed with insufficient income, marginalized and landless farmers, parents or guardians of child laborers, senior citizens, and fisher folks.
WDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more information from Lenore about LGU law enforcement agencies conducts Solidarity Pact signing interfaith prayer for peaceful 2025 elections in Katubig. Lenore?
The local government unit Katubig, COMELEC, Philippine National Police, Department of Education, Katubig Parish Priest, local religious leaders, military and other key stakeholders conducted a Solidarity Pact signing and interfaith prayer for the 2025 national and local elections in Katubig. Aside from signing an interfaith prayer, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao o BARM parliamentary election was also held on the said event. Meanwhile, the activities emphasized the collective commitment of the mentioned organizations and agencies to guarantee a peaceful, free, and fair elections. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for AFP Community News, 1FP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. called on local chief executives to ensure they leave a lasting impact on their constituency even after their elected tenure. During the interim General Assembly of the League of Municipalities, PBBM emphasized that at the end of their term, only one question remains important. This question is if the lives of the Filipinos become better because of their public service or actions. President Marcos is also hoping that the local executives will continue to adopt and sustain the reforms that they have introduced in national and local government.
DWDD National News.
And First Lady Liza Arneta Marcos announced that the Philippine government and United Arab Emirates-based non-profit Clean Rivers have signed a memorandum of understanding to clear and revive the vital Pasig River waterway. The First Lady announced this as she delivered a special address during the World Government Summit in Dubai. She cited this as another project where government and private sector work together to refurbish public spaces and instill pop-up eateries for the enjoyment of all. Araneta Marcos is also hoping that the improvements would be completed in time for the country's hosting of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit in 2026.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more from Shai about Philippine Navy partners with Magsaysay Group of Companies to bolster maritime security and training. Shai?
Yes, good afternoon. The Philippine Navy collaborated with the Magsaysay Group of Companies to bolster maritime domain awareness through a signing of Memorandum of Agreement at the Magsaysay Building in Ermita, Manila. Philippine Navy Flag Officer in Command, Vice Admiral Jose Maria Ambrosio Q. Isbeleta, Philippine Navy, signed the said MOA with the leadership of the Magsaysay Group of Companies to strengthen maritime security and training. In his message, Vice Admiral Isbeleta underscored the Magsaysay Group of Companies' greater contribution that will ensure the security of the country's maritime domain while strengthening the capabilities of the Philippine Navy. Meanwhile, the collaboration emphasized the Navy's commitment in strengthening maritime security, securing the Philippine seas, highlighting its role in national defense and regional stability. This is Shai Rivera reporting for AFP Community News, 1AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shai.
DWDD National News.
And the Department of Trade and Industry Palawan has imposed a 60-day price freeze on basic necessities in Puerto Princesa City. This comes after a state of calamity was declared due to severe effects of heavy rain and flood caused by the shear line. The DTI reminded business establishments to comply with a price freeze on basic necessities. Violators will be penalized with imprisonment for 1 year to 10 years or a fine ranging from 5,000 pesos to 1 million pesos or both at the discretion of the court.
DWDD National News.
And police in Negros Occidental may serve as a poll workers in case teachers affected by a possible eruption of Canlaon volcano fail to fulfill their duty during the elections. Provincial Election Supervisor Attorney Ian Lee Ananoria said that the training policemen as electoral board members is part of the contingency plan of the Commission on Elections in response to Canlaon. Aside from this, the COMELEC have also prepared alternative polling places under Alert Level 3. More than 20,000 voters are anticipated to vote in polling areas near evacuation centers in the cities of Bago, La Carlota, and San Carlos, as well as the towns of La Castellana, Morcilla, Moises Padilla, and Pontevedra.
DWDD National News. Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Angel about Task Force LCAC 37th IB Bring Joy to the IB communities in Sultan Kudarat. Angel?
Yes, Jai. The Task Force LCAC and the 37th Infantry Conqueror Battalion of the Philippine Army brought joy to the IB community in Sitio Ugangawon, Barangay Dato Ito, Andong, Calamansig, Sultan Kudarat. The troops, along with a representative of TF-LCAC Calamansig, conducted activities including Operation Ligo that prioritizes the IP kids of Dulangan Manobo tribe. Aside from the mentioned activities, the troops also conducted free haircut, feeding program, and distribution of hygiene kits and information dissemination about the CPP-NP-NDF's propaganda through film viewing and handling out of leaflets. Meanwhile, as part of the Whole of Nation approach campaign and effort of the government's LCAC, almost 55 IP children benefited from the said activities. This is Angel Cruz Camomot reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Angel. Now let us hear our reporter on the ground about Give Blood, Save Lives. Tao West at 52 leads life-saving blood donation drive in Palawan. Go on for the details, Zooms.
In a show of solidarity and compassion, the Tactical Operation Swing West launched the Give Blood, Save Lives Tao West at 52 blood donation drive, marking a heartfelt mission to ensure that patients in Palawan receive the vital blood they need. In partnership with the Palawan Provincial Government, 6 Civil Relations Group, Mata ng Bayan, SM Mall, Kiwanis Club, and Lakambini, Palawan. The event exemplified Tao West's mission-oriented, capability-driven, and values-based approach. As Tao West celebrates its 52nd anniversary, the drive brought together schools, organizations, and volunteers from all walks of life, all united by a common goal: to save lives. With their selfless acts, participants made a significant impact, turning the event into a powerful demonstration of community service and hope. The initiative highlights Tao West's dedication to not only strengthening its capabilities in disaster response, but also actively supporting the well-being of the local community. This blood donation drive stands as a reminder of the importance of unity and kindness in times of need, demonstrating that even small acts can make a big difference in saving lives. And that's the latest update. This is Private Pelayo reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jules.
DWDD National News.
And as Valentine's Day draws near, the Department of Information and Communications Technology urged the public to be vigilant against love scams. The ICT warned the love scams are on the rise and they can be devastating both emotionally and financially. The agency identified 5 common profiles of love scammers as the Casanova, the crisis victim, the man in uniform, the heir or heiress, and the love bomber. The ICT also said that these online fraudsters are good at pretending to be someone they are not until they get their victims' money.
DWDD National News.
And that concludes today's broadcast. Thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates. Same time, same station. Once again, this is Jai Simbaon for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.